Okay, so this is how I would work through section B of your exam that you've just taken. So the first thing to do is to open up the file called Profit L2, which I've done. And section B, task 2A says calculate the number sold for each item. So here's my number sold column, and it looks like I've got sales for 4 weeks. Now you can type a formula in here that says equals B4 plus C4 plus D4 plus E4, and you would be right, but you'd only get 1 mark for that. To get 2 marks, you need to use equals sum, which is a more efficient formula. Just enable editing there. So equals sum, bracket, highlight the 4 weeks, close bracket, press enter. That would give you 2 marks because it's an efficient formula using equals sum. So whenever you've got 3 or more numbers that you're adding together in a row or in a column adjacent to each other, always use equals sum to make sure you get the maximum number of marks. Okay, actually the first thing I've forgotten to do is put my name and details in the footer. So if you're not sure how to do that, you simply go to Insert, Header and Footer, and then click Go to Footer, and you can type the information you need in the bottom. When you click away from the footer, you'll notice that the view has changed, and all you do is go back to View here, and you're on Page Layout. If you simply choose Normal, you get back to where you were before. Okay, so I've worked out my number sold for the spikes at the top here, and I'm just going to use the fill handle to drag down the same formula to replicate it for all the others, so that's sorted there. The next thing I have to do is B, which is the profit margin for each item depends on the cost price. If the cost price is more than 30, the profit margin is 15%, if not it's 25%. It says use a spreadsheet function to enter the profit margin for each item. We're saying if the cost price, so the clue there is what to use equals if. So this is the way that I would do it. I type in equals if, then a bracket, and then I'm going to click on the function button up here, fx, insert function, because that breaks the arguments down for me and I can see what I'm doing. So my test is, my logical test, it says if the cost price is more than 30. Well, here's the cost price, so I'm going to click in there. So if the cost price, F4, is more than 30. So that's my test. The value if true, if that's true, then the profit margin is 15%. If it's false, the profit margin is 25%. And that builds up my if statement for me. So it's one way of making it easier to do your if statement. You do your test, then the value in true and the value in false. Click OK. There's my 25% there, and if I fill that down I should get 25 or 15 depending on the cost price. So if you got the formula correct here, that would have given you 3 marks. You could use 0.15 or 0.25 for a percentage, but percentage sign in there will work fine. It's not greater than or equal to, it's more than 30. So if you didn't get the full 3 marks, check that you've got this symbol right here. Okay then, so the last calculation I need to do is to work out the profit, and it tells me in the question that the profit is the cost price times number sold times the profit margin. So that's quite a simple formula, equals cost price times number sold times profit margin, and press enter. Now that's going to give me 1 mark. I get a second mark for replicating the formula all the way down, and then I get a third mark for doing the total profit. And again, we've got 3 or more numbers that are together. We can add them up using equals sum. So I'm going to type equals sum, now bracket, grab my mouse, highlight all the cells I want to add up, close bracket, press enter. So it's 3 marks available. One for putting in the correct formula, another one for replicating the formula down the page, and thirdly equals sum to add up all the numbers. Okay, you would have been asked to print this out before now, but I'm waiting until I've done all of the formulas before I print it out. Now I want to make sure that I can see all the information on my sheet, and some of this is truncated. I can't see all of the descriptions here. It says profit, mar there, so I need to get everything so I can see it all. The quickest way to do that is to take your mouse and go up to column A and drag right across all of your columns. If you then go into one of the lines in between two columns and double click all of them should jump to fit the widest entry in that column. There we go. So that was really quickly and easily done. I could make them a bit smaller, but I'll lose the sales there, so that means I can see everything on the worksheet. Now, to print this in Formula View, some of you didn't do this. You need to go to Formulas and make sure you click on Show Formulas. Now this widens all of the columns again, so I'm just going to highlight all across the top, double click once more, and there we go. I can now see everything without it being truncated. When you print this off, make sure you can see all of the formulas, because otherwise you won't get the full marks for them. So you can print that out as it is now. Okay, so to switch back, to the data view, I just click take out of Show Formulas, and again everything's truncated a bit, so I'm going to highlight everything, double click, and we're back to where we were. Just one thing on formulas, if you double click on one of the formulas that shows a formula, that is not Formula View. You won't get marks for that. You've got to switch to Show Formulas for Formula View. Okay, the next thing you've got to do is format the spreadsheet, and there are 4 marks available for this. You would have got 1 mark if there was no truncation, so there's no truncation there, nothing's cut off, we've got a mark for that. You would have got another mark to show the currency formatted to 2 decimal places for everywhere where there is money or currency on here. So cost price is money, currency. I'm going to right click, format cells, choose currency, and make sure it's 2 decimal places. And I'm going to do the same for this one. Go right click, choose format cells, currency, make sure it's 2 decimal places, click OK. So you get another mark for that. Okay, you're going to get 1 more mark for appropriate and consistent use of formatting, which enhances the spreadsheet. So here's a couple of things you could do to get your mark. One would be to just change the font size of the title, make it bold maybe, and maybe merge some of these cells together. There we go. You might get another mark for making the column headings bold. Sorry, not another mark, but you would get a mark for that formatting. Just going to double click here to make those wide enough. Appropriate use of shading would give you a mark as well, so I could fill the title like that at the top. So anything like that would give you a mark for formatting. And the last mark you're going to get is because you need to highlight stopwatch, because that is the item which has the lowest number sold. So lowest number sold, there we are, 58 stopwatch. I'm going to highlight that in a different colour just to indicate. So there's your 4 marks for formatting the spreadsheet. Okay, so the last thing you need to do is create a chart, and there's 6 marks available altogether for this chart, and you're told that you've got to do a chart for the tracksuits for the 4 weeks in May. I actually want these headings week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, so I'm going to highlight item to week 4, hold down Control on my keyboard and select tracksuits and all of the sales data. I'm then going to go to Insert, Column Chart. There we go. So I've actually got 2 marks now out of my 6. I get 1 mark for doing a bar or a column chart, and I get another mark for making sure that I've just used the correct range. So I've got 4 bars for each week, 4 different tracksuits for each week. So I've got 2 marks already. I need to make sure I've got the legend there. I actually get a 3rd mark for having the legend. I'm going to get another mark for putting in a sensible title. So I'm going to go to Layout at the top, Chart Title. I'm going to put it in above the chart. And a sensible title includes something to do with sales of tracksuits in May. So there's another mark there for a title, and I'm going to get other marks for sensible axes titles. So I'm going to call this one weeks and this one sales. I'll just do that while I pause this. Okay, so I put sales in here and weeks down here, and I did that by going to axes titles and choosing the horizontal axis and the vertical axis to put the titles in. So I've got one mark for a bar chart, I've got one mark for making sure that I've plotted the right things, I've got a mark for the legend, I've got a mark for the title, a mark for the axes titles. So we're up to 5 marks altogether, and you get one more mark for making sure that the chart is fit for purpose and on the right sheet. So I've got all my first 5 points, so I can get my bonus 6 point. I need to make sure I've got the correct spelling. I think everything is spelt correctly in my titles. I need to make sure that I've got suitable capitalisation. So I've got capital S, capital T, capital M, of and in, don't need the capital letters, and I've got sales with a capital S and weeks with a capital W. If sales had a capital S and weeks didn't have a capital W, you wouldn't get your mark because your capitalisation isn't consistent. You've got a capital letter there and not there, or maybe your capitalisation isn't consistent in your title, so that's why you might have missed out on that 6th mark. And you need to make sure as well that this chart is on a separate sheet. So if you go to design and move chart and make sure it's on a new sheet, chart 1, click OK, there we go, it's on its own chart and the data's there as well. So that's how you get your marks for this section of the test.